What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the video here on the Water Juice channel, and welcome back to episode number 2 of the little short mini series on Madden 22 as we wait for the September scouting update with the New England Patriots, obviously my favorite team in the NFL, and we're trying to do I don't know if it's technically a rebuild, but we're just trying to see how Madden thinks this team's going to play throughout the years. In the last episode, the first episode, we simulated all the way through year number 1. We made the playoffs and lost, I'm pretty sure, to, I forget who it was. It might have been Cleveland. It might have been Cleveland, but I'm not 100% sure if it is. And we lost in the wild card to them. So we are done in the playoffs. In this video will be the off season. However, I don't think we have much money, so it probably won't be much of the offseason. That'll be the draft, obviously, and then we will go and simulate all of year number 2, and then in the playoffs, and then maybe even the offseason of year number 2. And then we're just trying to get through as many seasons as possible and see what happens throughout the seasons in Madden 22, see how the simulation works and all that stuff. And as we wait for the scouting update in September for this game, that's when all the big stuff will start, like the Legends Fantasy Draft Series and all that stuff will start. But obviously we want to try and win Super Bowls in New England, and we got to see how Mac Jones develops. That's also another interesting thing to see, how Madden thinks that Mac Jones will develop. So without further ado, let's get into year number 2 in this Patriots rebuild. Technically, it's a Patriots rebuild. Let's do it. Smash that like button, hit notification bell, and the subscription button as well. Join the Juice Club. I'll see you guys in there. All right, here we are in the well, we're not in the offseason yet. We're still in the playoffs where I left it at the end of the last video. And if you guys forgot, we did hire 2 new offense coordinators. We hired Cliff Kingsbury and Brian Flores. We brought Brian Flores back to New England after a couple years in Miami to be our defense coordinator again. So yeah, that's what we're working with on the coaching stuff, on the coaching side of things. But as for the playoffs, we did lose to the Browns. I was right on that, 10-7. So we should have beat them, but we didn't. And now we can simulate the rest of the off season, or get to the off season, simulate the rest of the playoffs, and see what happens. So let's keep going and simulating. We can check the Pro Bowl. I don't think there's going to be anything like crazy in the Pro Bowl. We might have had somebody in the Pro Bowl, I guess. Let me just view the Pro Bowl roster real quick. We had, I wanted to say we had Tom Brady, but no, we don't have Tom Brady. We have Cam. Cam made the Pro Bowl. Who else? Did anybody else make the Pro Bowl? Hunter Henry made the Pro Bowl. Shaq Mason. Shaq Mason's on our team, right? I think so. Trent Brown. Anybody else? Anybody else? Anybody else? Doesn't look like, unless I just overlooked somebody. All right, so that's a decent amount of guys at the Pro Bowl. I want to check the stats really quickly because I didn't really check and see how we did this year. Cam made the Pro Bowl throwing 3,200 yards, 34 touchdowns, 14 picks. So not the best year, but I mean, it was all right. I think we'll give the start to Mac Jones next season. Sonny Michel did the bulk of the running and got 975 yards and 7 touchdowns. Damian Harris also got 7 touchdowns as well. Kenny Golladay, forgot I actually traded for this guy. 65 catches, 726 yards, 6 touchdowns for him. Jacoby Myers had 700 plus yards. Hunter Henry got 9 touchdowns. Okay, so we're spreading the ball. I like, but I wish we were more decisive on who we were throwing to. I don't know. Maybe it's good. On defense, Dante Hightower always gets 100 plus tackles in every simulation that I ever do, so he's just like a baller. 122 tackles for him, 14 sacks for Chase Winovich, 3 interceptions, for Van Noy and Gilmore. That's pretty cool. All right, so stats. Who won the MVP this year? I may have already looked at this. Christian McCaffrey won the MVP this year. Okay. Did we get any awards? Doesn't look like it. Looks like Lamar Jackson dominated this season. We have 116 staff points, which is awesome. We're not going to play the Pro Bowl. We are going to simulate to the Super Bowl, and it is the Browns and I can't see the other person. Seahawks. Browns and Seahawks in the Super Bowl. So at least we lost to the team that eventually went to the Super Bowl, which is cool, I guess, if you want to think about it like that. We're not going to use real people in this draft because I've already gone this far without having real people, so we're just going to keep it moving. I don't think there's anybody else. You know what? I'm going to put auto scouting on because I don't really have a preference on who I want to draft, so I'm going to go put auto drafting on, or auto scouting on. There we go. Auto scouting's on now, so up until the draft it doesn't matter who we get. So I think it's time to go into the off season. I don't know who is going to be in free agency, but I don't think we have a lot of money. We have $4 million negative. Seahawks won the Super Bowl. Season recap. Pierre Desir is the Super Bowl MVP. Okay. Najee Harris is Offensive Rookie of the Year. Micah Parsons, Defensive Rookie of the Year. Arthur Smith is the Coach of the Year. CMC is the MVP. Some weird stuff going down in this first simulation. All right, staff moves. I don't think we need to make any staff moves because we hired people, right? Okay. I had to make sure that was right. Cliff Kingsbury, it says that we hired Cliff Kingsbury as our head coach, or as our offensive coordinator, so hopefully that stays true. Next week, now it's time for retirements. We've got anybody notable: Dwayne Brown, Matthew Slater, Rodgers is gone. Aaron Rodgers, that's a huge one. Aaron Rodgers retired. Andrew Whitworth, Richie Incognito, Kyle Long, Steven Gostkowski. Okay. Huge one, though, with Aaron Rodgers retiring. I've never seen that with Aaron Rodgers retiring. But Larry Fitzgerald, Adrian Peterson both retire because they didn't get any jobs. Sean McCoy, Frank Gore. That's sad. Brian Hoyer. Interesting. That's an interesting retirement. I've never seen Aaron Rodgers retire in year number 1. We got a lot of people ready to negotiate, but that's because we don't have any money. We don't have any money to pay these guys. So we need to tag somebody, and I think that we tag Dante Hightower, right? Or do we tag Trent Brown? I think we tag Trent Brown. Let's withdraw our offers from Trent Brown. Why do I do that? I need to remember to make a bad offer, and then can I just like offer him something? I can't even just offer him a contract that he'll reject. We have no money. Who is taking up all our money? Hold on. Who costs us this much money? Stephon Gilmore costs us a lot of money. Hunter Henry. Judon is taking up a lot of money. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense at least. Most of our free agent signings are taking up a lot of money. Maybe this is the year that we trade Gilmore. I'm sure we could get a ton for Gilmore. That's not what I wanted to do. But then again, Gilmore is our highest rated player, so I don't know if we go that route, because I remember we're trying to win Super Bowls here, and we're trying to keep as many players as possible, as many good players as possible. But maybe we don't need 35-year-old Devin McCourty making $14 million. That's probably a little bit outrageous. We probably don't need that. So if we trade him to the Eagles, who need a free safety, they have 2 first-round picks, and they have Colin Kaepernick at quarterback. We could go and we could get a guy like Devontae Smith, who is young and a wide receiver that we do need. They have 3 first-round picks. How the heck did they get 3 first-round picks? Who they trade with? I don't even know. If you give me Devontae Smith and a first-round pick, along with, I don't know how much they value a 35-year-old, so I'm just gonna throw something else in there just to ask in case they want it, or in case they do accept this straight up, because you never know how they're gonna react. Jalen Reagor we could also get, which would be kind of weird. You know what? I'll throw Jalen Reagor in there just because. Are they gonna accept this? Ooh. That is actually a lot closer than I expected it to be. So I'm going to get rid of Jalen Reagor because we don't really want Jalen Reagor. I was just throwing him in there just to have something else just in case they accepted it. But knowing that they are that close, even with a first-round pick in there, and Devontae Smith, who they should value, I'm going to throw Avonte Maddox in there because we do need another corner. And then I'm going to give them a 4th-round pick and see if that does it. Trade decline. That does get pretty close, but a 3rd-round pick should get it done. Trade offer accepted, so we dump a lot of money from Devin McCourty to get Devontae Smith, a 1st-round pick, and Avonte Maddox to the squad. So that's another wide receiver that's going to grow in this rebuild. A decent young corner who's only 26. So our wide receiver core now looks like Kenny Golladay, Nelson Aguilar, Jacoby Myers, and Devontae Smith, along with N'Keal Harry, who didn't have a bad year by any means. But maybe we don't need Nelson Aguilar because Nelson Aguilar is making a lot of money too. And I don't really want Nelson Aguilar taking up that much money. So is there anybody that's interested in Aguilar? Anybody that's interested in Nelson Aguilar? We're taking a lot of money. We got was that a couple yellow interests that I see? Is there somebody with yellow interest, or is just making that up? I think I might have just been making that up. Is there anybody that needs a wide receiver? Come on, there's got to be somebody that needs a wide receiver. Everybody needs wide receivers. Nobody in the top 3 needs a wide receiver? I know the Bengals. No. I know the Broncos could use a wide receiver. Let me go in this way and see if there's anybody in the top 5. Ooh, I saw that the Colts. Colts need a wide receiver. All right. So the Colts need a wide receiver. And we have a wide receiver that we're willing to give up. Do they have a wide receiver that we can bring back? Michael Pittman. DeMichael Harris. If you give me Michael Pittman and give me like a 4th-round pick, I'll be willing to trade that. All right, if you give me Michael Pittman and a 5th-round pick, I'd be willing to do that. Trade decline. All right, if you give me Michael Pittman and a 6th-round pick, I'll be able to accept that. Thank you. So we replace Nelson Aguilar with Michael Pittman. We get an extra 6th-round pick that we didn't have. We're getting money, which is good. We're getting our cap room up. Now if we go to wide receiver, our wide receiver core is actually pretty decent. It's just really young. We got young Devontae Smith, young Jacoby Myers, young Michael Pittman, young N'Keal Harry. I mean, that's a good wide receiver core to grow alongside Mac Jones, who's only 23. I want to keep Cam, but I don't think we're going to be able to keep Cam because he's old. Plus, he's probably going to cost a little bit, and I don't want to really pay him that much. So, James White's actually not making that much money. That's crazy. I thought James White was making a little bit more money than that. Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry are both making a lot of money, and Jonnu is not really getting the job done, at least overall-wise. Isaiah Wynn. I don't know what we do here. Matthew Judon is 80 overall, making 16. I don't think Judon is here to stay. What can we get for Matthew Judon? Is that the Eagles? Okay, the Eagles are interested. The Niners. Okay, there's some teams interested in him. No green interest, but at least some teams that are interested in him, which is good. So we can get a little bit more value for him. If we send him to the Niners, what can we get in return for a 30-year-old making a lot of money? Jason Verrett's not making that much money. We probably need to look at offensive line. Do they have an offensive lineman? Or where am I going? Do they have an offensive lineman that we can use? McGlinchey, but he's making a lot of money. The Jaguars have nobody really of value. I know the Texans were interested in what's his face, Judon, a little bit. And it doesn't look like the Texans have anybody that I want. So who were the other teams that were interested in Judon? It was the Niners, the Jags, Eagles, Raiders. Raiders are the other team. Okay, so the Raiders, they don't have Richie Incognito anymore, but they do have nobody. Their offensive line god awful. Okay, so interesting. They do have Henry Ruggs, but he's probably going to get paid pretty soon. Running back is not an option. Tight end is not an option because Darren Waller probably too hard to get. Defensive line. Linebackers. I mean, this team's just not that great. No, the Raiders aren't the move. Raiders aren't the move. It's got to be the 49ers, I would assume. 49ers can be the guys to take Matthew Judon. Maybe we get Trey Lance. They probably value him too much. Trey Sermon. We could go with a guy like Trey Sermon. The Niners do have Laken Tomlinson, but he's 30. Bosa's going to get paid, plus he's probably too hard to get. What about if they give me Trey Sermon and a draft pick? I'd be okay with that. If they give me like a Trey Sermon and a 4th round pick, trade offer accepted. So Judon heads to the Niners. We get Trey Sermon and a 4th round pick. We're freeing up more money. All right, let's go to the next week. Apparently it says we have no money, but that I don't know if that's a glitch or not. Obviously it's not because we can't sign anybody. I don't know why we don't have any money. I thought I freed up. Did I do it wrong? Did I screw something up? It says that we have $8 million in cap space, so we should have at least some money, right? I traded away a lot of the guys that were making crazy amounts of money. I don't know. I don't know what the problem is. Why we have negative $5 million. Am I missing something? Is it like, hold on. Is it like our cap space and then negative? So would it be, how they figure it out is it our free cap space and then they take off the rookie reserve? Like they subtract that and that gives us 5 million negative? Is that how it works? Because I honestly don't know how it works. Because we don't have any money to sign anybody, and I just traded away a lot of guys that could help us. Maybe if we go and trade Jonnu Smith, because we're starting Mac Jones. We've got Trey Sermon as running back alongside Damian Harris because Sonny Michel and James White were both free agents. We've got Galladay, Devontae Smith, Pittman, and N'Keal Harry. I'm fine with that wide receiver core, but I could use another tight end that's not making as much money as Jonnu Smith. Maybe a higher overall than Jonnu. Is there a tight end out there that's got a higher overall than Jonnu? I don't know. Let's go to tight end real quick. He's 82 overall. No offense, 85. But he's probably coming up for a contract pretty soon, right? He's been in the league 3 years. Yeah, he's probably coming up for a contract. I don't know if I'd be able to pay him. Kelsey's not making that much money, but it's not feasible to try and trade for him. Mike Gesicki, Dallas Goedert, Kyle Pitts, Evan Ingram, Trey Hawkinson, or TJ Hawkinson, I don't know why I said Trey. He's probably coming up for a contract soon, too. Darren Waller already got paid, but is it the right move to try and get him? Probably not, right? It probably is not the best thing to try and get him because he's going to be hard to get, I would assume. What about if I throw these guys in the deal. We get Alex Leatherwood, and we also get a 3rd round pick. How much do they value Johnny Smith? All right. So first off, the Raiders weren't even a green interest team. I thought that they were, but that's okay because we probably weren't gonna get him anyway. I am interested in Noah Fant. I'm worried that his contract is coming up. I need to take a look at his contract. He's got 1 year left. We can't pay him. We're not going to be able to pay him, so it's not even worth trading away Johnny Smith. So we're going to move on. Who else is here? Travis Kelce. How much is Johnny making? 13? Travis is only making 7.5. What's his contract? Four years left. So that's cheaper than Jonnu, but it doesn't help us, I don't think. Well, it obviously helps because he's a better player, but it doesn't help us in the long run because he's making a lot of money. What about Gesicki? Gesicki's got 4 years left at 2.7 per year. Gesicki could be good for us. What about Gesicki in a 4th plus Jalen Waddle? All right. I figured that wouldn't work. Plus, the Dolphins aren't a green interest team. I got to get lucky and find a team that has a tight end that I want that's also green interest with us. So what about... I don't know. How well does Evan Ingram simulate? I don't think he simulates that well, does he? He had 85 catches, 9 touchdowns. I mean, that's a decent year. Are they a green interest team? They're a yellow interest team. Come on, guys. Give me a green interest team. Why do all the green interest teams not have good tight ends? The Packers and Panthers are both green interest teams, but they don't have any tight ends that I want. The Ravens are yellow interest. Obviously, I understand why the teams that are green interest don't have a tight end that I want, but I'm just saying. Come on, there's gotta be one team that has a tight end that is good or better overall than Jonnu, but is also a green interest. And it doesn't look like there is. I mean, Mo Alley Cox is what's his overall? 76. See, I can't do that. I just can't do that. So it looks like we got to keep Jonnu because I'm not going to trade him for lesser value when there's teams out there that want him, unless we go and trade somebody else. I don't know who, but we trade somebody else for another tight end, and then we just trade Jonnu for whatever. Maybe we trade Kyle Van Noy, or we trade Jonathan Jones because he's making a lot of money. Who wants Jonathan Jones? Lots of teams want Jonathan Jones. Okay, I can work with this. We need linebackers. So who here would like to be a New England Patriot? I know there's a lot of guys here that would love to be a Patriot. Who wants to be one? Especially middle linebacker, because that's what we need desperately. We lost, what's-his-face, Dante Hightower, so we need a linebacker in the middle spot. And it looks like it's going to be... I want to say it's going to be Devin White, but Devin White is going to be coming up for a contract. Yeah, let's see. He's going to be coming up for a contract. So we can't physically or feasibly pay Devin White. So I don't even want to waste it. We're not going to waste it. We're going to go with a guy that's been paid already, but has been paid not as much. Has Fred Warner been paid? I think he's been paid. Yeah, he's been paid. He's making 5.7. So let's say we get Fred Warner and we go with... Who else is here that we could try and snag? Nick Bosa. You know what? What if I just throw these two guys in here? Is that gonna do it? Okay, okay. I just wanted to see. I just wanted to see what that would do. I knew it wouldn't go through, but just in the little instance that if it did go through, I just wanted to be ready. I gotta cover all my bases. Remember, I gotta cover all my bases. They don't have anybody that I want at wide receiver, but I mean they have George Kittle. And they have Trey Lance. Could I get Trey Lance? No, okay, I can't get Trey Lance. Can I even get this house? Ooh, okay. So Fred Warner's not even an option. All right, what about left outside linebacker? We checked middle linebacker. I didn't see anything that I wanted. I mean, we can always go back to it, but TJ Watt has been paid. Anthony Barr, I know, has been paid. A little bit. Khalil Mack has obviously been paid. Von Miller's been paid, 13.7. I think it's pretty easy to get Von Miller, but I don't want to get him because he is expensive and old. Shaq Barrett, 29, 3 years on his contract. Joey Bosa's been paid. Actually, Joey Bosa hasn't been paid. Didn't Joey Bosa get paid? What the heck? Yeah, what? Why is his cap hit only 500,000? And why is he an outside linebacker? I thought he was an edge rusher. I don't know what's going on here. Let's throw in Rashawn Slater, see what happens here. Do they value him that much, or is it's just that hard to get Joey Bosa? Okay. We're finding out interesting things, though. We're finding out who's hard to get and who's not hard to get. All right, let's go to right outside linebacker. Is there any right outside linebackers that I could use? Somebody that's not expensive. Bradley Chubb's been paid. Micah Parsons. Let's throw Micah Parsons. Jalen Smith's expensive. Let's throw Micah Parsons alongside... How much did they pay Malik Hooker? They paid him 2.1. Let's throw Micah Parsons and Malik Hooker in the same deal. So we get a new young outside linebacker, a free safety for Jonathan Jones. I should have got a tight end. What was I thinking? That's why I traded him. That's why I traded Jonathan Jones, is to get that tight end, but I screwed that up. That's okay. We can trade somebody else to get a tight end, and then maybe replace that position with Donovan or with Johnny Smith. So Gouchot is making a lot of money for not being that high overall. Kyle Van Noy. I guess we can move Kyle over if we need to, or we just trade Kyle. Why can't I didn't know there was going to be glitches in the new Madden. So maybe we trade Kyle Van Noy, because we have Josh Uche, who I really like. Let's trade Kyle Van Noy. Now that we have Micah Parsons, we can move one of these two over. All right, does anybody even want Kyle Van Noy? Probably somebody doesn't even want him. Nobody even wants it, which sucks. But the Chiefs need a right outside linebacker, and we need something. We need Joe Tooney, but Joe Tooney's making $10 million. We need... Oh man, the Chiefs really have nobody. Ooh, Cowboy. Well, I was gonna say ooh, Cowboys, but we just took their right outside linebacker, so that's why they need one. The Lions, trade him back to the Lions. That'd be pretty interesting. Frank Ragnow. Is Frank Ragnow really hard to get? What if I gave you? How did we get 2 first-round picks? I forget. I don't remember, honestly. 4th-round pick plus that. What if I give you a 1st-round pick next year with Kyle Van Noy? Ooh, We could be getting a center that I really want. What about if I give you that 4th round pick? And I didn't forget, what about, who's their tight end? Do they not even have a tight end? They only have TJ Hawkinson. It's not going to be possible to get both of them. So, we don't do that. That'd just be a stupid move because we're out here looking for tight ends and we're not going to be able to get one. So, this is hard. Nobody said this was easy. Do the Giants need an outside linebacker? They don't. The Raiders do, and they still have Darren Waller. Tyler Higbee. Tyler Higbee, Aaron Donald, and a 3rd round pick. I know this isn't going to go through. Oh, Aaron Donald's making too much money. Darn it. Darn you, Aaron Donald. And, I mean, what's his face is making a lot of money too. Tyler Higbee was making a ton of money. We got to get guys that are cheap but also good. Cheap but also good. You got to remember that. Cheap but also good. Cole Kmet. Noah Fant. Maybe we just bite the bullet and get Noah Fant. Because he's not making money. And then we go to wide receiver. No, I don't want Jerry Jeudy. We go to... They got Kyle Fuller at 8.2. Patrick Surtain. I'll trade this 1st round pick. We'll see how this does. Trade offer accepted. Noah Fant, Patrick Surtain, and a 3rd round pick for Van Noy. I can trade Jonnu if I wanna. I mean, I probably made a mistake in getting Noah Fant, but it is what it is. We're gonna trade Jonnu now, and then this is gonna be the last move that I make with trading, because I'm just like destroying this Patriots roster right now. Let's trade Jonnu. I know teams are going to be interested in because we've seen that already. So we can probably get a lot for Jonnu. So we got to take this in, think about what we need. We need linebackers. We need offensive linemen. So we need to think about this. Who's got like some really good linebackers that obviously don't cost a whole lot, but also who has a good offensive line that we could probably take, because we really need a right tackle. So let's go to right tackle and see some of the options, and then we can kind of base off what else we need if we find a good right tackle. So Penny Sewell's here, but do we want to get a young guy like that in a couple of years we're gonna have to pay? You know what? Screw it. Let's see if we can get Penny Sewell. But do the Lions have any even? They don't even have anything. The Lions don't even have anything else that I want. So Penny Sewell's probably out of the question. If they had somebody else that I wanted, we got Ryan Ramczyk, but he's making 10 a year. These guys need to make a little less money. Isaiah Wilson's on the Bengals? I didn't know that. Well, he probably got signed there. He probably isn't there in real life. Tristan Wirfs is an option. Brian Bulaga, making too much money and he's old. Braden Smith. I know the Colts have good linebackers because they've got, what's his face? Kwity Paye. They got Darius Leonard, who we can try and get, along with Kwity Paye. No, that would put us over the money. So, Colts out of the question. I'm not trying to break the bank here, boys. I'm not trying to break the bank. Lyle Collins is a lot of money. Everybody's just so much money. Why does everybody cost so much? What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? Let's go back to the Lions and rethink this, because we want Penny Sewell. But if we don't want to get a linebacker, then we could get Ragnow, and we could get maybe like, is there anybody? There's nobody. This team is god awful. This team is just bad. Just straight cheeks, boys. This team is straight cheeks. Alright, that's not gonna work. The Lions are yellow interest. Why do I always find the teams that are yellow interest? I want a team that's green interest, boys. I want a team that's green interest. But also has a good right tackle. There's gotta be somebody. No, the Buccaneers are yellow interest too. I mean, Rashawn Slater, we could just move to right tackle. Would that really be the worst thing in the world? Maybe. Or maybe it could be a big brain opportunity. You know how I love these big brain opportunities, boys. Asante Samuel and Kenneth Murray for Johnny Smith. Is this going to go through? Trade declined, but it could go through. This is probably a dumb idea, but I don't care about dumb ideas because I'm a dumb boy. Trade decline. Third round pick will go through, I would assume. Oh, what? Unfortunately, we can't consider the offer. It puts us over the cap. What? All these guys are making little money. It doesn't put us over the cap. We can't consider the offer. It will put us over the salary cap. It doesn't put us over the salary cap, though. What are we talking about here, boys? We have money. We have money. What are we talking about here? I'm confused. I wish I had that 5th round pick. Okay, well, I mean, I have one next year. We can't consider the offer. It will put us over the salary cap. Does that mean the rookie stuff? Because we have Rashawn Slater. So does that mean the rookie, the rookie money that we put, like how I was talking about with the whatchamacallit, the salary cap stuff, team salaries, the rookie reserve. Is that what that means? That if I trade for Rashawn Slater and Asante Samuel was in that deal too, if I trade for those guys, does that mean that the salary cap doesn't work? We have negative 490,000. I'm not going to be able to sign anybody. There's a couple guys that I'd like to bring in. But with no money, we can't do that. So, you know what? Let's just keep going. See what happens. I think I built a pretty decent team to go alongside Mac Jones. So, we're just going to auto-upgrade these guys. Oh, it's Micah Parsons. Okay, so we'll just auto-upgrade him. It'll just give it to the top thing. If we go to the next week, we're not going to do a lot of drafting. We're just going to basically do the first like couple picks, and then we'll simulate the rest because we don't really care about the draft that much. Start drafting.
It's the Lions now on the clock.
Skip ahead to user pick.
The Patriots on the clock 19. Right now. Let's see who they have their eye on.
Make your selection. Is there? Who's here? Who's here? We have a running back that's pretty decent. 4 speed. We have a left end that could be good, but we need linebackers. Dakota Grant. Okay, let me just go straight to the line. Actually, you know what? Hold on. Let me pause it first. I always forget to pause the draft. So we pause, draft, make our selections. We have as much time as we possibly can need. So we're going to go to linebackers. There is only one linebacker that's worth taking in the first round, and it's this guy, Dakota Grant. So we're going to take him.
Now on the clock,
he is
the
78 with normal development. He is ranked 4th in true value. So, I mean, it's kind of a W. It sucks that he doesn't have a development trait.
All right, next up, the Patriots are on the clock.
We can always move him around. So then we have this guy, Delvin McLaughlin from Ohio State, who looks pretty good. George Garcia. I kind of want to take that McLaughlin guy. He's got okay speed, but he's a late first round talent. He's 74 with hidden. We got him at 29, or we got him at 22. He's ranked 29. So he's 74. He can go alongside Damian Harris and Trey Sermon. We'll skip to next user pick.
The Patriots are now on the clock.
Is there anybody else decent? Quarterback, running backs. We didn't really scout a lot of guys, did we? Right guard, a 3rd round talent, or a 3rd round projection, but he's a 2nd round talent. A right tackle. He's projected 3rd round. There's a guy down here that's projected, or that's 2nd round talent. Marion Steele. Okay.
On the clock now, it's the
70,
Falcons.
Oh, that's not a W at all. That's an L. That's an L. 71 with no development trait. Big L.
On the
Big
clock
L.
now, it's the Patriots.
All right, this is probably going to be our last pick, and then we'll just auto draft the rest. That right tackle is there down there, Darian Stanford. The right guard is gone, it looks like. This middle linebacker, Dwayne Hurst. Let's take him.
Okay, it's the Bills
He's
now on the
73 with normal. So we got the running back who had hidden, but nobody else that's good. So we'll skip to the end of the draft. We can auto draft the rest of the guys, doesn't matter. Not the best draft. Not the best draft at all. But that's okay, because we don't care. We don't care. We're looking at Mac Jones. So we got Dakota Grant. I mean, 78 overall, just because he has no development trait. Still W of a pick. Then we got McLaughlin, who does have a development trait. Marion Steele, Hurst. They ended up picking Darian Stanford, which is probably the guy that I was going to pick. Does he have a development trait? He does. Darian Stanford's a W. Darian Stanford's a W. And then we got Jimmy Burgess, who also has a development trait, which is probably star. Lorenzo Baker doesn't. We're probably going to be cutting these guys. Austin Cheeks. No, all these guys are L's. Yeah, all those 7th round picks, they're all L's. But this Burgess guy, Jimmy Burgess, that's a W with the development trait. It's probably it's probably a star, but it's still W. And now we move into the regular, the preseason of the 2nd year. Hall of Fame induction, what? Oh, this
when
is
DeMarcus
cool.
Ware was selected
There's little
11th
videos?
overall in the 2005
that's
NFL
W.
Draft,
I'll
he
give
became
EA
the
this.
first Troy University
This is a
player to
W.
ever be chosen in the opening round. Now, 17 years later,
I don't know
he's
why
the
we're
first
showing
Trojan to be
DeMarcus Ware,
inducted
because
into
DeMarcus
the
Ware
Pro
hasn't been in the
Football
league
Hall of
for a
Fame.
couple of years.
His 138.5 sacks ranked 9th all-time in NFL history. And his 9 Pro Bowl selections are tied with fellow legends like Walter Payton, Ed
This is actually
Reed,
pretty cool.
Derek Thomas, and John Elway. Now, DeMarcus joins them in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, for the next 6 weeks, we get +5 finesse. Cool. That was pretty cool. I will give EA that. That was pretty cool. All right, so we have Mac Jones, who's getting the reins at starting quarterback. Then we've got Trey Sermon, Damian Harris, and Delvin McLaughlin. Wide receiver, we got Galladay, Devontae Smith, Michael Pittman, and N'Keal Harry, who are going to be our wide receiver core. Tight ends are going to be Hunter Henry, Johnny Smith, or Hunter Henry, Noah Fant, and Johnny Smith. Offensive line still needs a little bit of protection. Darian Stanford's going to get the shot. We're going to give it to him. Might as well. We don't have any other options. I mean, this team's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. I think I'm going to give the shot to Dakota Grant at left outside linebacker because he's an 80 overall with the boost and stuff, so he's better than who we got over there. So we're going to give him the shot at left outside linebacker, see how that does. We got Josh Uche there, Micah Parsons. We'll give Hurst the shot at middle linebacker, see how he does. Corner I like because we've got some really good corners. Jalen Mills probably needs to be a safety again. We don't have a first three rounds of draft picks this year, which sucks. But I'm gonna do all the preseason stuff, and then I'll see you guys at week 1 where we're gonna simulate again until the end of the season probably, or maybe I'll simulate till like halfway through the season, catch you guys up. But I'll see you guys at week 1 after I get all the preseason stuff done. All right, we're in week number 1. We're ready to simulate. We're in 84th across the board, so I think this team is gonna be pretty good. I think we're gonna be able to make the playoffs. The offensive line's decent. Stanford hopefully will develop. Our tight ends are good. Our wide receivers are young and good, which I like. Running backs are good, young too. Quarterback is obviously young. On defense, we need some work at linebacker. I mean, Hurst will give the shot. I guess we could move Uche to middle linebacker and then have him and Hurst instead of Hurst and Therese Hall. That could be an option. Or we move Grant to middle linebacker and then let Uche run right or outside linebacker. That could be an option. Our corners are fine. We're gonna keep rocking with Gilmore until he starts to lose a little bit of luster. Defensive line could use some work. I'm gonna give the shot to Barmore. We're gonna let Christian Barmore start. I think I'm gonna change. Yeah, I think I'm gonna change Grant to middle linebacker, then have him and Hurst be the 2 middle linebackers, and then have Uche play outside linebacker along with Parsons. So let's change Grant to middle linebacker. He should stay at like a 78 or whatever he is with the momentum boost or with the morale boost. He's an 80. But if we change him to middle linebacker, then he's a 69 at middle line. Okay, so we can't do that. We can't do that. No, we'll move him back to left. We'll move him back to left outside linebacker. Sorry about that, Dakota. Didn't mean to do that to you. All right, there we go. He is now an 80. Okay. So we need to move one of these guys in the middle. Can we move Micah? Can Micah go to 80 or middle linebacker? He's sitting at an 82 with the development. Let's move him to middle. What does that do? Does that hurt him? He's now a 74. So I can't do that, right? What was he at again? I don't remember. He go back to right outside linebacker. What does that change you to? Back up to an 82. So can none of these guys play middle? Can I not change any of these guys' positions? What about Uche? Does Uche get hurt? He goes to a 65. Okay, so the plan is off. We're just going to have to rock with these guys playing outside linebacker because none of these guys can play middle. That sucks. Okay, that sucks. Good to know. But none of those guys can play middle at all. So we're going to go to the depth chart because I noticed that they had the guys playing a little bit out of position. So we're going to switch it to make Grant play right outside linebacker. Oh wait, did they not switch it? Hold on. No, they did. No, I had to switch. Okay. So put that there. Then we'll go to left outside linebacker and put Dakota Grant there. And then we'll go to middle linebacker and put Uche. Actually, you know what? Parsons is the highest overall, so we'll switch it right there. All right, so that's how I want it. I want Micah Parsons playing right outside linebacker. I want Dakota Grant playing left outside linebacker. And now we can simulate to... I'll simulate to about halfway through the season and see how we're doing, and then I'll catch you guys up there. All right, we are sitting at week number 8. We are 3-3 on the year. Not having the best of seasons. But if we take a look at the stats, Mac Jones doesn't even have over 1,000 yards, but he only has 10 touchdowns, 1 pick, so that's pretty good. Trey Sermon is our leading rusher with 330 yards and 2 touchdowns. McLaughlin, does he have, he doesn't have his development trait unlocked yet. I'm assuming it's star, but I don't know. We've got Kenny Golladay with 250 yards, Devontae Smith 204. How's our defense looking? Nobody's really gone up in overall yet. I mean, what's his face? Mac Jones is still 74, I think, so he needs to develop a little bit more. It sucks that they didn't give him a development trait. I mean, I could obviously like bump it up, but I don't want to do that because that's cheating. But Stanford's looking decent. Everybody's got morale boost, so the team is playing pretty well. Barmore went up to a 78. J.C. Jackson's got a little bit of a down morale right now. I'm liking how this team is looking. I don't know if we're probably a couple years away from contending really, but we're gonna find out because I'm gonna simulate to the end of the season and we'll see where we're at. All right, so we made it to the end of the second season, and unfortunately, we came up against a pretty tough division this year in the AFC East. The Bills and the Dolphins both won over 10 games. Well, at least 10 games. We won 9 games. We didn't make the playoffs, and we just had to move on. But what we did have happen was we had some pretty good guys get some good upgrades. So it looks like there's actually some pretty decent head coaches retired. So Robert Saleh gets fired from the Jets after 2 seasons. Pete Carroll is retiring. Frank Reich is fired. Matt Nagy gets fired. Sean McVay gets fired, and John Gruden gets fired. Interesting. Pretty big names in the coaching tree. But what I was talking about with everybody like going up in overalls and stuff, Mac Jones is now a 78. Well, he's a 76, but he's got the momentum boost, so he's a 78. We've got Devontae Smith at an 80 or an 80 overall. We've got Kenny Golladay at an 88, I should say. I'm getting confused with the the momentum boost and stuff. Our offensive line's looking good. Stanford's development trait is star, which I called, I think. McLaughlin's is a star as well. So our whole offensive line's looking good. He's going to grow. Our defense, we've got Barmore at a 79. We've got Maddox at an 80. We've got J.C. Jackson at an 88. We've got Surtain, who's got superstar development, at an 80. We've got Grant at an 81. We've got Micah Parsons 82. Uche 76. Hooker is an 81. So guys are developing. We're still a couple years away. I would guess from not making the playoffs, but definitely winning a Super Bowl. Mac Jones in his first year as starter threw for 3,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, 11 picks. Rushing, Trey Sermon almost got 1,000 yards on 250 carries. Damian Harris looked to be the goal line running back because he got 18 touchdowns. That's crazy. Receiving, not the best receiving stats. It looks like Mac Jones split time between a lot of these guys, which is okay, but I would like to see one of these wide receivers really get a lot of targets. As for defense, we had Dwayne Hurst get 101 tackles. That's pretty cool. Sack leader was Chase Winovich. Micah Parsons came in second. Interceptions, Gilmore had 4. Maddox had 2. Duggar had 2. So pretty decent season. Nothing crazy. I knew we weren't going to be like the greatest team. Patrick Mahomes wins MVP. Urban Meyer won Coach of the Year. Good for him. Let's see if we won any awards. We didn't win any rookie awards, and we don't win any other awards either, so that's okay. Let's see what we can do now. We have all of our coaches are still here, I would assume. We did get a contract extension, which is good. But it is time to end the video because we simulated all that stuff. So we got a 3-year extension. We can go to the Super Bowl and see how that does. See who wins the Super Bowl. I don't even know who made the playoffs, but advanced to the AFC Championship game. We've stayed pretty consistent at 84 overall as a team. Did we get any Pro Bowlers this year? We had... let's see. Did we have any Pro Bowlers? David Andrews, Shaq Mason. Anybody else? Anybody? Micah Parsons. That looks like it's it. So we had 3 Pro Bowlers this year, which is pretty good. What else can you expect, really? It's Jaguars Panthers in the Super Bowl. Can you believe that? Jaguars and Panthers. Trevor Lawrence is going crazy. Trevor Lawrence was the 2 seed this year. Urban was coach of the year. That's absolutely wild. Let me check. Give me a look at Trevor Lawrence's stats. Give me a look at good old Trevor Lawrence's stats. 2 touchdowns, no picks, 239 yards. Trevor Lawrence is balling out in these playoffs. And he's going up. It's 1 versus 2. The Panthers are the 1 seed this year. Is Sam Darnold still there? Hold on. Before we end this video, I've got to see if Sam Darnold is still the quarterback. Is Sam Darnold still the quarterback of the Panthers? It's Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick led the Carolina Panthers to the 1 seed and now the Super Bowl. So congratulations to him. It's a 1 versus 2, but we'll simulate that in the next episode. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and watch. I know it's a pretty long video, but there was a lot of off-season stuff that I wanted to do, a lot of trades. That probably won't happen every single season, so the videos probably won't be super long anymore, but I just wanted to make those off-season trades and stuff. So thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching. Make sure to smash that like button, notification, and the subscription button as well. Join the Juice Club, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace!